Hello, I'm Dr. Laura Murillo, President and CEO of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Now more than ever, we know the important role that your bank plays in your upward mobility, in your business, etc. And these are very important times for some crucial conversations for you to have. Our former chairman, who's been very involved with this for almost 20 years now, is with us, and his name is Scott Silvas. He's joining us. He represents Fifth Third Commercial Bank, Texas Market President. Scott, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Lauda. Always a pleasure to be here. Very privileged to have had the opportunity to lead the chamber last year as the board chair and enjoying my role as immediate past chair, which I can also spend more time being a good corporate sponsor of the Hispanic Chamber and making sure we're getting all the great value and benefits we can get because the Hispanic Chamber has been a wonderful resource for us.
Well, thank you so much. And speaking of, commercial clients are so important. Tell us what you're seeing out there, what your clients and potential clients should know about Fifth Third Bank.
Absolutely. Well, I think a lot of the major headlines are somewhat well known, so I won't necessarily reiterate all that. But broadly speaking, some of the bigger projects, bigger expansions, bigger initiatives that business owners really want to embark on are just on pause. Quite frankly, it's great that they're maybe not fully canceled and just completely mothballed. But given the current environment and the level of uncertainty and volatility we've seen in the first 4 months this year, everyone just doesn't have the confidence to make big endeavors right now. So that means that we're still staying close with a lot of our clients and making sure they have our view of the market and what we're anticipating and where we think there could be some challenges. On the bright side, though, Lauda, there's still quite a bit of activity where some people still have some confidence to maybe take on some smaller things. If someone's working capital line of credit is a certain size and they see more potential in new business development and new contracts, they might need to expand that working capital line of credit. We've absolutely supported our clients. We've won new clients because we're still willing to understand what industry and sector they operate in, where they might still have some constraints from a banking and financial services standpoint, and still have tons of confidence. This is still Texas. We're still growing above the national average, tons of in-migration, tons of pent-up demand that is still available to be harvested this year.
And it's a great time to reassess, as you were mentioning, for your current clients and others, is to look at other opportunities, to get an assessment, to sit down with you all to see what the opportunities are.
Absolutely. That's right. And a lot of times, sometimes, conversations might lead off with big, financing initiatives, supporting some big investments. As things have not gone as well this year, I think a lot of business owners are revisiting their budget and their forecast. And if they've had a chance to take a pause and say, well, we're not going to allocate all our resources for a big project, but can we tackle some other internal things? The focus to automate processes within companies has been ongoing for a number of years and continues to evolve. Figuring out where you can digitize a process where there's paper and manual processes inside of an organization. There's tons of efforts to figure out how to automate and digitize the process. And a lot of those, can create some efficiencies, be a little bit of cost savings, allow you to repurpose some of your headcount. So there are some other things Fifth Third is doing in the market, other ways we're adding value and helping companies as they continue to navigate this year.
And as an example, Fifth Third has been a corporate sponsor for many years. I know that for 2025, you all have moved your focus toward the architects, engineers, and contractors, as well as our CEO breakfast. Let our audience understand why that's important to Fifth Third and what it does for your business.
Absolutely. Well, as you mentioned, we've had the great joy and benefit of being a really large sponsor of the luncheon for 5 years in a row, which we were very proud of. As we continue to grow and expand in the market, our Houston office now has over 25 people across a number of 5 to 7 to 10 different lines of business. So we took the opportunity to say and work closely with the chamber in terms of thoughts and ideas around putting some more curated events together, more targeted, some things that really help the chamber that also align really well with where we've expanded as a commercial bank. And so that's, as you mentioned, it might be the CEO breakfast. It might be something that's a little more industry specific with some initiatives the chamber has. So it was a great opportunity to allow the chamber to continue bringing on some more corporate sponsors. And I know that's a coveted position to be the lead sponsor of the luncheon. And so, we felt it's time to be a little unselfish, relinquish that, but focus on some other things we could do to, or win-win for us and for the chamber.
Well, thank you for that and for your ongoing involvement, whether it was a member, a volunteer, on to becoming our chairman and now as a chairman emeritus. Our thanks to the entire Fifth Third team for their investment and their time. Scott, anything else you'd like to leave our audience with?
Thank you again. Look forward to the next Hispanic Chamber event. And it's still always great to be operating in our wonderful city of Houston.
Thank you so much, Scott. We appreciate you.
The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is the leading advocate for the Hispanic business community. In Houston, we represent over $54 billion per year in consumer spending. Our thanks to our board and staff for making sure we elevate business and advocate for a stronger economy. I'm Dr. Laura Murillo, President of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We're so happy to recognize our next Houston legend, Roberto Contreras. He is President and CEO of Moderno Porcelain Works and more. You're going to learn a lot about some of his big projects in the city and across the country. Roberto, thank you for being with us.
No, thank you for inviting me.
We've been involved with you for many, many years at the Chamber and have seen you grow and just do so many great things. Moderno Porcelain Works is your newest venture. And before we talk about that, though, tell us a little bit. Your journey has been extraordinary. How did you get started? What was one of your first big breaks?
Oh my God, where do I start? Well, I came to this country in 1984. I came because my parents have moved into the country about a year before, and they kept on inviting and saying, "Hey, you guys have to come. You guys have to come." At the time, I was 20 years old, and I was already married. I was already married with a little baby girl. Mm-hmm. So my wife and I, Claudia, we decided to, hey, we could always, go and try it and see and explore something new. And if we don't like it, we could always come back to Mexico. So we decided to move to Houston. When I arrived, I did not speak the language. I did not speak English. So I went to University of Houston to take English crash course, English as a second language, and after that I applied to college. So I was coming from starting my degree in engineering at Tecnológico Monterrey in Mexico. And when I arrived here, I knew that I was not going to do engineering because I was really struggling with it, and really my mind was in business. So I applied to Texas A&M because I had a lot of friends that have moved from Tech of Monterrey to A&M, and I didn't make it because my English was not good enough to make it into A&M. So I went to Blinn Junior College. And then later I transferred to U of H. And frankly, I was able to go to college because my wife went to work and I went to school. And even though I was working after school, she was really supporting me. Mm-hmm. And that was my first break. My first break was realizing when I finished college that I could start a business because I was being supported by my wife. I mean, we didn't have much, and it was not easy, but we were surviving. Yes. So I was able to take the risk of starting my own business, which had always been my dream. To be able to create jobs and to be my own boss.
What was your first business?
My first business, I gotta go back to when I was in college. I was working in the warehouse in the afternoons. I was working in the warehouse of this company that was providing the metal fireplace boxes. Mm-hmm. To apartment complexes. So they were a distributor for the manufacturer of the metal fireplaces, and they installed it mainly in apartment complexes. And there was a big boom in the early 80s on apartment construction because there was some tax advantages if you invested in this type of apartment creation or housing creation. So this company had a lot of business, and one of the things that they did is they did some marble surrounds.
Okay.
Together with the fireplace. So in many cases in the summer, I was in charge of actually, making sure that this got installed properly and it was happening. And I always asked them why they were not doing marble in the vanity tops of these apartments, and they said that it was because of breakage, because they were importing the marble from Italy and from Mexico, and when you bring a piece of marble with a hole, it breaks. So I had a great idea of, I'm going to start a fabrication shop cutting marble and making it easier for companies like this one to be able to supply marble in commercial jobs.
Yes.
To make a long story short, I started a fabrication shop cutting marble, and that was my first business after college, thinking that I already had a customer.
Okay. And today you're doing a whole lot of work in this space again, but in a very different way.
Well, yes. The experience from that business led to another business. I introduced in the late 90s, early 2000s. I introduced a new product to the industry called silestone. So I partnered with a manufacturer, and we created a company to introduce this new product, which is a quartz surface, which at the time didn't exist. There was not a lot of people, actually, there was none really bringing it for countertops. I sold that company 12 years later after I started the company. It was, very successful company. And I left the industry in 2010. And later, I went back to a trade show 7 years later, and I discovered this new product, which my idea was, if I did it before, I could do it again, introduce a new product to the market, because it's not, even though the product is available, it's not really accepted yet. It's not everywhere, and the product has great advantages.
Yes.
over other products, and that is a large format porcelain tile.
And I've been to your warehouse, and it is beautiful. And in terms of the technology, and if you see something, you can take a picture of it, and you're customizing all of it. So
and that is what it is, right? The reality is that the technology keeps advancing.
Yes.
And that gives you the ability to have new products and new ideas. And in this case, the concept of this product, it is being able to provide the customer with the look of a natural stone in this case. And I said natural stone because right now marble is really in fashion.
Yes.
White Italian marble it is very desirable. So it's to be able to provide the customer something that looks exactly like white Italian marble. It feels exactly like white Italian marble because it's a stone, but without the disadvantages that natural stone has, which are, natural stone is very rough on the environment because basically, you're mining it out of the earth. And it has some disadvantages, some weaknesses. I mean, marble is not used commonly in kitchen countertops because it stains, it scratches. It is hard to be able to have matching colors. So this product basically bridges all those gaps and is able to overcome all those efficiencies thanks to the technology. And
it's a great alternative.
It is.
Certainly. Well, I must ask you about the incredible, the Allen that is coming up very soon, that is going to be a true gem in this city. You have so many other projects, buildings across Texas and elsewhere. But let's start with the Allen.
Well, the Allen is definitely the largest real estate development project that our company has developed. The Allen is a mixed-use development on Allen Parkway, which has some retail pavilion. It has a 34-story tower, which this first 16 floors is a hotel, Thompson Hotel, which is the boutique of the Hyatt, and then has 100 residences, 100 condominiums. That is a phase one, and then we have phase two that will come later as an apartment and more retail. But basically, the Allen is just an opportunity created by the big investment that was made on Buffalo Bayou.
Yes.
Because it's a great location now, but it's really leaning on that big investment that the Kinder family and the city of Houston created with Bayou Bend Park.
And it's going to be extraordinary. We can't wait to host our gala there in 2024, and it'll be around the corner. And certainly going there, having been in San Antonio at the Thompson that you have there, and it's extraordinary having come to this city, as you mentioned, to Houston, without the language, without any connections, if you will, that you were a true American success story.
Oh, thank
So
you.
we're so proud of you, and you've always been very engaged with the Chamber of Commerce. Anytime that I have called, you have been there. So we appreciate, we value, and we thank you.
Well, and I appreciate everything that the chamber does
Thank
for
you.
the community and for business people.
Thank you. So Roberto, before we wrap up, I'd just like to ask you, what would you like your legend to be?
Really, what I would like is for my grandkids to do well, and that to me, that would be the biggest thing that I could leave is really to have grandkids that are doing good, and that they continue that spirit, that American spirit of achievement, and continue to try to get better, after the previous generation.
Every generation better.
Yes.
Thank you, Roberto. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much for the
Thank you.
opportunity to be here.
Thank you. Well, we'd like to say again, congratulations to Roberto Contreras and all of the many accomplishments that he and his family have made, not just in Houston, but throughout the country. We thank you for joining us. We'll see you very soon.
Hello, I'm Dr. Laura Murillo, President and CEO of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I am thrilled to have one of our corporate partners, Crow, joining us here today. We have been involved with each other for many, many years, 15 years plus. They've been a great partner, and we are so happy to have Sheila Enriquez join us. She has a new title. She's going to tell you all about it and what she does at Crow. Thank you, Sheila.
Hi, Dr. Murillo. Thank you so much for having me today. It's such a pleasure.
Thank you very much. And so first, let's start with, what does Crow do? Who is Crow? A lot of people may be familiar with the previous name of Briggs & Veselka. Tell us about Crow a little bit more, please.
Yes, I'm very delighted to introduce you to Crow. So we are a public accounting, consulting, and technology firm, and we distinguish ourselves not only by our size and capabilities, but also by our purpose and values. We were founded in 1942, and Crow has grown to become one of the largest accounting firms in the U.S., serving clients worldwide with our deep industry expertise and innovative approach. Our network actually spans more than 130 countries through our Crow Global Network. And so we are truly a global firm, but we maintain a strong commitment to our local communities as well. Our purpose is clear. So we are here to shape your better tomorrow together today. And that is realized through a wide range of our services, which include audit, tax, advisory, risk, and performance services. So whether we're helping a business navigate complex regulatory environments, optimize their operations, or strategize for growth, we are there with you every step of the way. creating value that endures.
You got a presence and a footprint in Houston, but also throughout Texas.
Absolutely. And you know what people don't know in Texas is that Crow has actually already been in Texas for the past 15 years in Dallas. But as you noted earlier, the Briggs and Veselka team joined Crow in 2022, and 3 years in the making here, that really expanded Crow's footprint to now include the Houston area, which is our largest office. We also have an office in the Woodlands and, of course, Austin, Texas. So we are in every major city and very excited about Texas and our commitment to this great state.
Well, and then the big word on the street is artificial intelligence, isn't it?
That is exactly right. Everybody's thinking about it, wondering how to adopt it. And I think for companies, it's top of mind for sure.
So what does that mean for Crow and its clients?
So it's been interesting to me to watch the evolution of AI. And when we talk about AI has been in place for decades, right? But the one area that you're hearing a lot these days, probably in the past year, is generative AI. And what that is the large language models like ChatGPT. And for some reason, all of a sudden, right, it's become the term, it's become much more evident in the things that we do in our everyday lives. And so for Crow, AI is really a topic of immense interest, with organizations eager to expand their understanding, harness its potential. So we recognize this demand. So we actually are really focused in and utilize our own AI platform we currently have in our firm, CrowMind. It is being actively used across all our business functions to accelerate multiple tasks, freeing up more time for innovative thinking, complex problem solving. And so it is a game changer, and it is starting to revolutionize industries across the globe. We actually started our own AI studio for that reason. We're expanding it, and it is designed to foster the development of AI-powered solutions for our clients, while also advancing internal adoption of AI in our business operations. When it comes to our client offerings, we are enabling our clients to really provide more value-added services. And one of the big things, Dr. Murillo, that I don't think companies are even really as aware of is that you really have to be careful when implementing AI. You know, we provide guidance on AI strategy, implementation, governance. There's some ethical considerations that people should be thinking about when implementing AI. So as we help clients harness the power of AI, we also help them manage the associated risks. One thing at Crow that we're very mindful of in addition to AI, though, is making sure that it's remaining human-centered, because you hear a lot of people talk about AI and replacing jobs. And at Crow, we recognize that we cannot lose sight that we have to be human-centered in everything that we do. We will be AI-enabled for sure, AI-powered, but we are all about people at the end of the day. And so, you know, we combine AI with human-centered design, and doing that allows us to create solutions that are not only smart, but user-friendly, intuitive, and definitely aligned with the expectations of our clients. So very, very exciting area, you know, that is just continuing to evolve very quickly.
Very well. Sheila, our thanks to you and the entire Crow team. I know we had someone from your staff join us at our Business Institute, and throughout the year, you all have been very engaged with us, and we really appreciate the 15-year plus relationship we've had with Crow. Thank you.
Likewise. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
We'll see you soon.
The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is the leading advocate for the Hispanic business community. In Houston, we represent over $54 billion per year in consumer spending. Our thanks to our board and staff for making sure we elevate business and advocate for a stronger economy.
Hello, I'm Dr. Laura Murillo, President and CEO of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We enjoy having many guests on our program here on CBS KHOU 11 and Quest. And today we've got a special guest from the Houston Chronicle. As you know, there's so many changes now with media. We thought we'd get the perspective of none other than Kelly Ann Scott. She's the editor-in-chief and SVP award-winning Pulitzer Prize winner, has had a tremendous career trajectory, and she's here in Houston now. So Kelly, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today.
Absolutely. So first of all, I want to recognize the Houston Chronicle for the partnership and re-engaging with you all, Nancy and the whole team. Such an important component to our city. And certainly, as someone who's been a Houstonian for their entire life, there's a lot of changes in print media, in media, digital media. We can't even keep up with it. So from your perspective, what is in the future of the Houston Chronicle? What do you see in the next year for the Houston Chronicle?
Sure. I mean, it's an exciting year for us. I think in 2025, it'll be our most ambitious year yet. I've been
Okay.
here for a year so far, and really, we're spending a lot of time trying to understand our community, learn all about the metro area, build a strong team that can do what we need to do in the digital space today, and keep us moving forward. We're spending a lot of time on the journalism. We've done some things like we've doubled our investigative team. We're doing more video than ever before. We're building bridges in places that we haven't been, and we're spending more time listening to how we can really be essential to people's lives. So much of our past is really about print, and we're grateful for so many people who still read the print edition today, but we have more readers than ever before in the digital space. And so that's the place where we're really trying to understand how can we be essential to people's lives.
So on that note,
Yeah.
especially the digital space, there's so much competition. And I think it's really difficult for a lot of people to know the real journalists versus
Yeah.
the people with an opinion. How would you describe that and the challenge that it is for someone like the Houston Chronicle today?
It's a huge challenge. I mean, misinformation is everywhere, and everybody has an opinion all the time, right? Branded accounts, we spend a lot of time cultivating our branded accounts. We've started something new this year called Houston Explained. And so when you have questions about things or questions about things in our city or things you read, we're answering those questions for readers one-on-one. That's an initiative to help us all understand Houston better and sort through what's real and what's not about our city. But it's an ongoing challenge, and media literacy continues to be a challenge across our city and across the country.
So let's talk about the ever evolving now with this digital opportunity, the updates on so many things. It's not just you hit a deadline and it's going to be printed in tomorrow's paper. It's a nonstop constant.
Yep, it is. We really run as a 24/7 operation here. We strive to be first and best with breaking news and across all the things that people care about the most. We try to dive into the issues that people also, that make the biggest difference in people's lives here. It is like I said, a 24/7 operation across multiple platforms. It includes social media, video, our website, newsletters, push alerts to power your watches and then print as well. So all of those things come into play.
Very fascinating. And so to wrap up for your readership, tell us what are some of the ways, other than the one you already described, right, that they can better connect, especially our businesses? Like what's in it for
Sure.
businesses today? Because they have so many choices.
Sure, I'll tell you, the number one way to connect with us are through our newsletters. We have a whole portfolio of newsletters. You'll be delivered to your email box every single day. It's direct news, one-to-one relationship, and you can figure out all the things you need to know every single day. The 713 is 3 times a day, and that newsletter tells you everything you need to know here in Houston. The other thing I'd highly recommend is something new we've started called HC Live. It is an events series that we do that has been very well received. And it's a way for us to have conversations with newsmakers, kind of like this right here, and business leaders and thought leaders and the people who are making Houston what it is today. Those conversations you can drop in. And when you drop in, you can ask questions and get answers to the things you've always wondered about. It's specific for subscribers. That's one thing I would also say when it comes to connecting is, and this kind of goes back to your other question too, is support local media today too. And this conversation about misinformation and ways to support a healthy ecosystem for the news media, support them, subscribe, share things from local media. Really, really double down on the journalism to help us all sort through the opinion and what's real and what's not out there.
Well, we appreciate it, and I look forward to participating in HB Live with other thought leaders later on today. So tune in, folks, if you're watching, and we'll make sure to have it on our YouTube station as well. So thank you so much to you and the entire Houston Chronicle team.